Rome wasn't built in a day, but how the hell did it take over half the world? The Roman Empire, this juggernaut of military might, cunning politics, and marble statues of guys in togas, was at its peak. Trajan is emperor, and under his rule, Rome stretches from the windswept moors of Britain to the deserts of Egypt, from the Atlantic in the west to the Euphrates in the east. It's a beast, a colossal machine, and you wonder, how did they do it? Let me tell you a secret about the Roman Empire, though. Rome wasn't just about the glory of conquest. Sure, they conquered half the known world, but much of their success came from playing the long game. In fact, Romans were masters of PR. When they showed up at your city's gates with a legion or two, they didn't just storm the place and throw everyone into chains. No, they'd send a polite little envoy first. Think of it as the ancient equivalent of a corporate merger. Join the Roman Empire. You keep your customs, we keep the taxes. Also, there will be baths. And you know what? A lot of cities agreed. Because let's be honest, who wouldn't want those aqueducts? Fresh water, straight to your house! Roman roads too, smooth, efficient highways that connected a vast empire. It was like they invented the first international infrastructure project. In fact, if you think about it, the Romans were like the original global tech company. Roads were their Wi-Fi, connecting everything. Latin was their operating system. And gladiator games? Well, that was their version of Netflix. But there's more. Rome wasn't all clean marble, shiny helmets, and perfectly chiseled abs. Oh no. Beneath that well-oiled surface were the strange and wild stories that most people gloss over. Take the Roman legions, for instance. These guys were the backbone of the empire, right? Tough as nails, disciplined, marched 20 miles a day, fought battles in perfect formation. But did you know they were also obsessed with chickens? Yeah, that's right. Before a battle, Roman commanders would consult sacred chickens to see if they'd eat. If the chickens pecked away happily at their grain, it was a good omen. If not, well, let's just say there were stories of generals who threw those poor birds overboard when things didn't go their way. And then there's the Emperor Caligula, oh boy. Imagine, if you will, a man with all the power of a Roman emperor, but the mind of a reality TV star gone mad. Caligula once declared war on the god of the sea, Neptune, ordering his soldiers to stab the waves with their spears. The kicker? He then commanded them to collect seashells as spoils of war to show off back in Rome. That's like sending the US Army to the beach for a souvenir scavenger hunt. Of course, not all emperors were that insane, but even the good ones had their quirks. Take Hadrian, the guy who built that famous wall in Britain. He was a philosopher emperor, a lover of Greek culture, and someone who spent more time traveling across the empire than lounging in the palaces of Rome. He even rebuilt Jerusalem, then renamed it after himself. I mean, who doesn't love a good vanity project, right? Oh, and if you ever wonder why some of these emperors had such nice statues of themselves, well, that's because they literally hired imperial image consultants. Ancient PR at its finest. But Rome wasn't just ruled by its emperors, it was shaped by its people. The slaves, freedmen, merchants, soldiers, women, and gladiators were the lifeblood of the empire, and some of them had wild lives. Take Spartacus, the gladiator who led a rebellion so terrifying that Rome had to throw everything they had at him. He was basically the Roman version of a folk hero mixed with a UFC champion. He led a slave revolt that shook the empire to its core and nearly toppled it from within. Gladiators, slaves, men who were supposed to die for entertainment, suddenly became the empire's worst nightmare. And let's not forget the women of Rome, who were often more powerful behind the scenes than anyone realized. Augustus's wife, Livia, was rumored to have had her hand in all sorts of political intrigues. She's said to have advised her husband's succession plan. A nice way of saying she probably arranged for some convenient deaths in the family tree. Ancient politics, am I right? The fall of the Roman Empire is often talked about like it happened overnight. But the truth? It was more like a slow unraveling. Barbarian invasions, sure, but also corruption, overexpansion, internal strife, and a few too many weak emperors who were more interested in their parties than in policy. But here's the thing. Even after the Western Roman Empire fell in 476 AD, Rome's legacy didn't just vanish. The Eastern Roman Empire, or the Byzantine Empire, kept on trucking for nearly 1,000 more years. The Romans had left their mark on law, architecture, military strategy, and even the way we organize our cities today. And Latin, the language of the empire, it evolved into all the Romance languages we speak today: Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese. So, in a way, the Roman Empire never truly fell. It just transformed, scattering its influence across the centuries like breadcrumbs. So, next time you're sipping wine and pondering the ancient world, just remember, the Roman Empire was a lot more than togas, triumphs, and Julius Caesar getting stabbed by his buddies. It was a wild, chaotic, ambitious, and sometimes utterly absurd adventure that shaped the world in ways we're still untangling. Plus, they had some killer chicken-based military strategies. If you enjoyed learning these wild facts, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible history content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.